The following is a presentation of the iRacing Esports Network.
Focus, determination, passion, stamina, and the will to win. The end result, the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Extreme Motorsports brings you the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you by Ricmotech High Performance Sim Racing Equipment, and in part by TD's Tree Service. Live Mondays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Apex Racing TV, and welcome to the heartland of America, to Virginia, the Virginia International Raceway, for the penultimate race meeting of the season in the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech Sports Car Series. It's a titanic racetrack that we're going to be racing at today. Joining me in the commentary box is going to be Alex Simpson and Tyler Vickery. But first, a look around this mammoth circuit in the heartland of America, the Virginia International Raceway. Today's track guide.
Welcome, everyone, to Virginia International Raceway. Great to have you with us as we provide you your track guide today in the Ford Mustang. And today we come to you from Alton, Virginia in the U.S., less than a mile from the North Carolina border. This track was constructed in 1957 by 4 sports car enthusiasts who sought out this gorgeous 1,200-acre property of rolling hills to build this fantastic road course. The first event was held here in August of 1957 and must have been quite a spectacle to see as road racing was growing in such popularity in the U.S. at the time. The first winner here at VIR was Ed Hughes in his 1956 Alfa Romeo. This track has 130 feet of elevation changes and is certainly a technical track for drivers to master, as you will see through our track guide around this 3.3-mile road course through the southern hills of Virginia. As we pass the pit entry on the right here, we'll be approaching the flag stand at the start-finish line. Very long straightaway here coming down into turn 1. Drivers will reach some pretty high speeds here, close to 130, 35 miles an hour as they get down through the gears. This is an overtaking opportunity coming into turn 1. Coming out of turn 2, getting back up through the gears here, another little short straightaway. This takes us to turn 3, known as NASCAR Bend. Coming out of NASCAR, back up through the gears, little short chute here, down into second for what's known as the left hook, turn 4. Coming out of 4, we head up into turn 5 and out into the snake, turn 6 here, 6A and B. Snake is a section you want to pretty much drive straight through so that you can get that good speed launch out onto this straightaway. This takes us to one of my favorite portions of the course, the 7, 8, 9 climbing S's. Through 7, up over the hill through 8, and then into turn 9. Very fast area. Coming over the crest, we'll get down into turn 10 here, known as South Bend. Big drop off here, taking us to 11, and one of the most famous turns on the course, Oak Tree Corner, known worldwide for its name. Very technical, got to correct there a little bit on exit, don't want to get loose. You'll notice another pit area here on the left that actually serves as the pits for the south configuration of this course. 6 different configurations to this track. Long uphill straightaway here as we head to what's known as the roller coaster. Turns 14 and 15. Hard on the brakes, down into second. Another overtaking opportunity coming up into this section here. Down through 15, back up through the gears. Another little short chute, blind entry here going into 16. This drops us down into what's known as Hog Pen, turn 17. The final corner on the track. This brings us back up onto the long front straightaway past the pit area. Coming across the start-finish line, there's your track guide for Virginia International Raceway. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks as always to the guys there for giving us a brief rundown of this Virginia International Raceway. Welcome everybody to our coverage then. It's a 60-minute race coming up tonight. The final 60-minute race of the season, because after this there's just one race meeting to go, and it's the usual end of season showdown at Road Atlanta. 90-minute race take place there. I'll bring in Alex Simpson, who's on the cameras tonight, iRacing World Champion, former iRacing World Championship Grand Prix Series driver, former BSR-TC driver too. And I think a veteran around this circuit as well, Alex. But what's the championship standings looking like in both classes going into this one?
Yeah, evening everybody. It just sounds like I don't race at all anymore. Former this, former that. I was only like 2 weeks ago that I was runner-up in the BSR. You make it sound like I'm retired. I'm an old man. What are you saying?
I could probably say BSR-TC legend or iRacing World Champion.
Right, here we go though.
Yeah.
Championship standings. Sorry, I digress. But yeah, GS Pro, Aeronom looking really strong right now. 330 points lead. With Stephen Thomas in second for Driftline Racing. He's on 276. Kevin Ford is third on 261. So pretty close still for second place in the championship. And, you know, no disrespect to Aero, but that's where we focus, isn't it? The best of the rest, it seems to be, because Nom is so strong around just this season and last season as well. Tyler Schiffler in fourth. Russ Ruddock rounds out your top 5. He's only 6 points behind Tyler as well, so it's pretty close there and thereabouts. Jeff Jacobs not too far behind. Brandon Whitworth as well, all in the 200s, and Leon Wright in 8th place, the last driver in the 200 points. Then you've got Michael Ruddock and Dexter Castro round out your top 10. In the open category, obviously just 3 drivers this season, but Raymond Bader Jr. is leading that one by 3 points from Jim McDonald on 192 against 195, and then Robert Briss just a bit further back on 104. Over in the ST class, it's Robert Hartley who's edged his way out in front now on 303 points. Mike Dam in second place, 291. So nothing between those guys again, and everything still to race for as this championship progresses. 276 points is Travis Svenke, Pasquale Iannucci, Violet, it's Eric Violet. I don't know why it's showing that. To sort that out. I'm pretty sure I said that last week, but it's always late and I forget. Is in 5th, Jim List 6th, David Pate 7th, John Allen 8th, Geordie Fike is in 9th, and then our commentating colleague Ryan Walker is in 10th. Into the open category, we have got Chris Thorman, and it's Jacob Beasley. Thorman got quite a bit of a lead now, but definitely close for second place. Beasley in Holland. Then it's McMurphy, followed by Charles, Key, Taylor, Lovell, Sancinelli, and Dorset. Right, I would show the grid right now, but this is something we'll need to throw to Pascal, because I can't show the grid on a pace lap anymore, because I believe done a bit that hides it. So Pascal, if you are watching, yeah, we need that changing back, my friend, because I now cannot show the grid on a pace lap. So
it's a great opportunity to bring in then Tyler Vickery, who's joining us for the coverage today. And Tyler, as we're about a third of the way around the pace lap now, what's your opinions of Virginia International Raceway? You've driven around this track many times before?
Yes. One of my notorious races I've done in another series was the trucks here. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like that. This normally not one of my best. Normally not one of my best tracks, but as myself being better with the as a strategist driver, it's more of just trying to make it through like the first 10-20 minutes of a race, and then figure out what I can do afterwards to try to improve position-wise.
Yeah, I can imagine the trucks around there, especially through the first sector, was pretty tough, and I bet slowing them down for the final sector too. I can just about imagine how that's gonna how that one. I bet you needed all of that runoff area at the end of the straight.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, especially going through turns 14 and 15, which is called the roller coaster section. I mean, that area with just how much the off camber is on the trucks. Yeah, you need all that runoff there.
Well, the cars are just on the back straight now. I think they might just be coming towards the end of it, because I'm currently watching it on the stream. The timing tower is on the left-hand side of your screen as well. Alex, Tyler's just been mentioning it. The roller coaster section could be a main overtaking point for both classes, really. It's a long enough straight for both the Mustang and the Mazda to pick up a decent tow.
Yeah, I absolutely think it will be, and you are right. It's just coming through that section now. So yeah, I'll take it from here, and yeah, just give us a toot when you're in, mate, and we'll get going. But yeah, Norm on the pole, Clint Vigus in second. It's Kevin Ford, Dexter Castro, Stephen Thomas, Tyler Shiflett, Leon Wright. You see the order on the left. Pace car ducks on into the pit lane. We're just waiting for the green flag before we go. There's the call, and Nom is away. Actually, a really good start by Clint Vigus. Someone going off onto the grass on the left-hand side. I'm not sure who that was, but it's extremely tight as they head into turn one. It's a tricky turn one here as well. So easy just to go in a little bit deep, trying to outbrake your rivals, and all there is grass on the outside. But everyone through cleanly, turn one. So all good with that. How about the MX-5s? Here we go. And Travis Fenke leads the way there. Hartley gets a jump on List. And then it's Iannucci, Dam, Violet, and Nice. Again, nice, sensible start from everybody. This is what we like to see.
Absolutely, that was an impressive start there.
Yeah, nice, clean, no issues. Couple of cars just kicking up some dust in the background. It's worth pointing out as well the obviously the day to night transitions, and we have some beautiful sunset going on in the background over there as well. So I say sunset, but of course I don't know the exact time of day. It could be dawn for all I know.
Looking at the time right now on the clock, it is 7:03 as the time they've got it set on there right now. So it's definitely, the sun is definitely starting to set.
Yeah, excellent.
Guess they're trying to emulate the conditions in real time, aren't they?
Well, I wonder if it's going to get a little bit dark by the end of this race. 7:03, if it's going to be like 8 o'clock, maybe that sun will be completely set, lights will come on and things like that. Could be interesting. And of course, it's the first time the leagues had to run with anything like that, so they might well, have to tweak if they that's not the intention. I mean, lights are already on the Mustang, so which is interesting. Only a couple of them though. That's not what I expected to see. But yeah, some with them on, some with them off. So I would have thought they'd have all come on at the same time based on the server, but yeah, maybe not.
I do want to add in on that. From what I was reading up, or I want to say reading up on a forum at one point, that supposedly there is an option where you can actually control the lights, where you can turn them on manually yourself if you want.
Oh, well, there you go. So maybe, yeah, maybe these two drivers, which is Kevin Ford and Dexter. Oh, Ford! Massive sideways moment. He just about holds onto it, but that was a tasty slide that he just had there. But one heck of a save as well. Fortunately, he's going to drop almost all the way to the back of this pack. He's just about yeah. I thought for a minute he just managed to hold off Raymond Taylor Jr. there, but no, all the way to the very back, down 11 spots now. So not the best of times to be having a little moment like that. Not that it was a little one. That was huge.
Absolutely, yeah. I look back at the replay to see exactly what happened, and that car got really unsettled after it hit the rumble strips there going into the snake.
He was very lucky that he didn't collide with anybody else. Just saw it there on the live stream. He's just behind Taylor Jr.
Yeah, he just managed to sort of get it collected, and it sort of went off the track and didn't hit any of the walls or tyre walls or anything. So yeah, like you say, he was lucky. He was going to be able to finish to continue anyway. So there was a good battle which we just saw as well, which is Tyler Shiflett and Stephen Thomas. They were side by side for a little while there. And yeah, it was Thomas that came out on top. He's got his sights set on Dexter Castro now, Tyler.
Yes, I've noticed, I don't know if it's just some iRacing issue, but I noticed on the front of Dexter Castro's car, he's got a little bit of nose damage. Don't know if he bumped into someone at the start of the race, but it was very minimal though. I don't think it would cause any kind of aero push, but it's a very small little damage on the front nose. Doesn't seem like he's having any issues though.
Yeah, strange. I didn't see any checking up or anything like that that might have caused that. Maybe there was perhaps a bit of net code as he went past Kevin just a lap ago or something like that. You know, could have been just a little something there. But yeah, I think he'll be all right. It takes a lot to damage these Mustangs, I have to say. The top two.
Oh, as Castro went off track there for just a split second. And he's still having issues. Oh boy. Look out, right at Oak Tree Corner.
Yeah, this is not going to be good. He can't do anything here. He's just got to get it out of the way. Certainly got a bit more front end damage now, and he does indeed drop all the way to the back. So he just ran a couple of wheels wide. It's so easy to do there, and everyone just checked up, caught him. The person that come out the best was Tyler Shiflett there. He's now up 3 spots, and Brandon Whitworth up 5 as well. Although there's a great little battle here, which is that's Whitworth holding on to it. You've got Leon Wright, Stephen Thomas, so and yeah, Russ Ruddock's in there as well. So yeah, all go right now in this class. I haven't even had a chance to really check in on the MX-5s because yeah, we don't normally see this kind of action at the start of the race. They're normally very, very patient, but yeah, to the MX-5s then. And we have a battle for the lead. Robert Hartley trying to make his way to the front and does so quite successfully.
Quick word on the... sorry, I was just having a quick look on the YouTube chat quickly. Ron Walker saying that I'm sure Kevin Ford, that woke him up after what happened earlier. And just another comment on the day to night transitions. You can see when the sun comes out from behind the clouds. Looks absolutely staggering. So we're loving the new day to night transition so far.
Yeah, I mean, just look at that shot down the straight. You can just sort of see the sun creeping, you know, well, that one there, that's phenomenal. So they've really done a great job with the lights. And I did a stint in the HPD around Interlagos.
Interlagos.
No, it was Interlagos earlier on, and just the way the clouds move and everything, the track temperature going up and down all over the place and things like that, and just affecting the way the car is being drove. I did just have a whisper in my ear from race control as well. The incident is being investigated at the moment, which is exactly what we thought would happen, and we will we'll maybe hear from that very soon exactly what happened. Another little battle forming up as well, and this is between Leon Wright and Brandon Whitworth again. And that's as they go into the roller coaster section. Whitworth holds on to Wright holds on to it. Oh, they're close.
Oh, boy, that was close.
That's Thomas trying to sneak in there as well. Got a battle just going on behind them as well. Turn one, surely best chance for Sam to sneak up the inside, see if he can get towards the front of this pack and start supporting his teammate.
That absolutely is. Looks like he's gonna. Well, actually, still hanging on to it. Right now, Sam's should have the inside line coming into. Actually, no, it's gonna be the out. I'm trying to get my corners right now. But it looks like Stephen Thompson's going to hang on to it right now over Sam. You're better at saying that one, Alex, than me. I'm about ready to butcher it.
I'd say Katakuzanos. That's how I think it looks anyway.
Thanks, Adam. Saved us both there.
Yeah, because I was about to butcher that big time.
And I'm in the session, so we're all three of us now able to comment on what's going on the track. We're looking here at the battle for the lead in the Mazdas then. Rob Hartley leading round Travis Fenke and Jim List, and there might be a swap just behind him there with Mike Dam potentially just getting past Ian Ucci there, but a trend, Tyler, that we're going to see, I think, throughout the whole race really. If you lose a few tenths in this part of the section, you're definitely going to close that gap that you've lost right back up, going down this straight here, the front straight, and even the super long back straight as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you can hit the both the snake area, which is turns 5 and 6, as well as the long back straight heading towards South Bend, which is turn 10. That'll be the best opportunity to try to gain enough momentum where you might have an opportunity to make a pass at Oak Tree.
Oof. Very close there as we go on board with Travis Fenke. He's got Rob Hartley just in front of him. Going up to the Oak Tree Bend now. Still there on the iRacing service. Of course, it got blown down in that storm a few years ago now. And now onto the back straight. 1,500 metres in length, I believe. So just over 1.5 kilometres. See what kind of speeds Travis Fenke can get up to. He waits a little bit to get the upshift there, up into top gear, 5th gear. Are we going to get past 180 Ks? It's going to be close, Alex. He's going to look to the outside going into the roller coaster section here, but I think it might just be that case of early stages of the race, just playing your cards close to your chest.
Yeah, I think he had an opportunity to get a full run there if he wanted to, but just kind of eased out of it a little bit. Did hear in my ear as well that the incident has been reviewed. I don't believe there was any further action taken. I couldn't quite hear. It was busy in the booth at the time. But unless we see a drive-through appear on screen, pretty sure no further action.
The last. I'm checking on the sessions chat as well, and it's saying no further action.
Okay, right decision, you reckon, Tyler?
Probably by decision of no action. Probably because of the 13 already. If they're looking at it towards the 13, I mean, he lost every single spot he had up to that incident. So they probably felt like if it was the 13 that caused the issue with him making a mistake and sliding off track, that it's probably no need for a drive-through penalty.
From what I saw, I only got C1 angle, but I probably agree with that as well. And this battle continues in the Mazda MX-5s, just about a second or so, covering the top 3 or 4 in Class A. You can see at least down to about 8th position, just in that wide shot that we had there as we go towards the oak tree again. Meanwhile, as you can see from the timing tower on the left, the Ford Mustangs have just come across the line to complete another lap in their class. The race order there is Aeronom leads, Clint Viger second. You can see them all on the track map, and you can see P1 Aeronom isn't too far away from getting onto the back of the car that's currently running in 32nd place. That is Mikey Key in the No Clue Motorsports car. And you can see how big this Virginia International Raceway is and how long that back straight is, as well as Rob Hartley, Travis Fenke, Mike Dam, Jim List and Ian Ucci all go through it now. And Mike Dam, Alex, he's a driver that's been on the move. He got past Ian Ucci when we first joined this battle, and since we've been there, he's got past Jim List too, as we look at a replay of a blown engine, perhaps.
Was indeed. Kevin Ford popped his engine, trying to go... I think he was trying to outbrake someone on the outside there, and unfortunately that is his race done. So after what was an absolute epic save, it's all come apart, and yeah, I'm afraid yeah, we'll see him no more.
With engines as powerful as these, Tyler, you obviously mentioned racing in the NASCARs as well. Is it pretty easy to blow one of these engines, especially when you're downshifting on a road course like this?
Yes, especially when I was just looking on the onboard, and with the Fords, if you downshift too early, which I have a feeling he probably went to downshift and just downshifted one too many times if he's using a paddle shifter. I have done that before, where I have downshifted too quickly, and especially with these Mustangs, they are very easy to blow a motor if you get down to one gear too early, and especially if you're still on the throttle.
You know, not very much mistaken, Alex. This isn't the first time it's happened to Kevin Ford. I think it may have happened at Spa a few weeks ago. Was that somebody else? Not too sure. I don't think he joined us for an interview halfway through the race, but here is a man whose engines very rarely go bang, and it's Aeronom. He's currently leading Clint Vigas by 7/7 of a second. A decent lap last time around, Alex. He was 200ths of a second quicker. Clint Vigas, it doesn't sound a lot, but racing against Aeronom, I think you can take what you can get at this moment.
Yeah, I think so. We haven't really seen many drivers really challenge Nom at a circuit that, you know, really is all about the driver, if I'm honest. You know, you really have to be on your game here to get the maximum out of it, and Vigas is really showing that, you know, why he was able to give Mike Dam a run for his money there a couple of seasons ago. Looking really, really strong today. These guys are 8.5 seconds ahead of third place. I mean, you can just see the gap on the map. I mean, they are absolutely flying. So, yeah, Nom is absolutely pedal to the metal today. He's under a little bit of pressure. So, I don't honestly think we've seen Nom under this kind of pressure at a circuit where, like I say, it is a driver's circuit. Draft tracks, yes, but he's fully aware of what's going on those draft tracks. So, got a race on our hands, guys.
That oak tree bend, it is very difficult to slow the car down, and even when we were on board with Aeronom there, you could see how wide he was going into the oak tree bend. A few local drivers here as well. We've got one from the Virginias, that's Tyler Shiflett, but Clint Vigas, Michigan native, racing here at Virginia. My geography of America isn't too good, Tyler, so Detroit and Virginia, are they too far apart?
Not too far apart. Virginia is over on the east coast of the U.S., while Detroit, Michigan is up near the northern half, right along Canada. I'd say they're probably about, probably about 500 miles, roughly like 550 kilometers in distance.
About the size of our country, then. So not far at all.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. We were talking NFL the other day, and I was watching a broadcast where it said it was a local affair, and I had a look on Google Maps, and it's like a good 5 or 6 hour drive between the two.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably about, I want to say from Virginia to just the state of Michigan in general, I want to say it's about like a 6, 7, possibly an 8 hour drive. I want to.
That's probably Scotland to, I'd say, to London, or maybe even just a bit beyond that. There you go. 17 minutes in then, just over a quarter of the way through the penultimate race of the season here in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Aeronom's got his first bit of traffic to really deal with here, and he's not dealing with it too well, Alex, because look at that, the gap's just been wiped out. Oh, you hit him!
Well, not anymore!
My.
Oh,
in there.
Very nearly held it, didn't he, Tyler? Now he's gone for a spin.
Oh, I feel bad for that unfortunate back marker in the MX-5 car. Just nowhere he could go.
No! Oh my word! Do not rejoin like that, Clint. Wow,
Oh,
we were
man.
lucky. We were lucky there. I think he was lucky there. So, like 90-degree angle rejoin. Well, all of a sudden, Nom is laughing because he has a huge gap, and yeah, his rival is way back.
7 seconds is the next one. It's Tyler Schiffler, and I think it was poor Patrick Prevenus that was the unlucky recipient of what happened there. It invited a move, Tyler, up the inside going into that left-hander, and Vargas went for it, especially because he'd closed the gap so much on Aeronom. Here's a replay. Talk us through what happened from on board with Vargas.
Yeah, well, he just, you can just see he went for the move up the inside, didn't he? And just needed to be a bit more patient. He was trying to put the pressure on, on Nom, really. He just needed to wait. That wasn't the time or the place for it. Sorry, Tyler, it's easier for us to do it, because obviously our system jumps from replay to replay and stuff like that. Once we get used up and sorted, then you'll have that as well.
Yeah, I was just looking at the replay real quick as well. Yeah, it's just the same thing. I mean, the MX-5, the 29 of Patrick Prevenus. Sorry if I'm butchering that. I mean, he was in it. Yeah, he was doing everything in his right to give them as much room as possible. It was just Clint tried to go for a gap that was there that it just really closed up quickly, especially in that long back stretch. I mean, you got to hit those corners right every time, and that was just not the best timing there, and it cost Clint severely.
That's the second time today that many drivers have had to take evasive action around that part of the circuit for the Oak Tree Bend there, and earlier on in the race we saw what happened with Kevin Ford and everybody else, and Dex Castro scattering. That's two Mustangs now by the wayside. Flintstone Racing's Kevin Ford and Dexter Castro in the 49 Motorsports car, both looking like their races are going to be done for the evening. We haven't really touched on the strategy aspects of the race today. We can get that up once I find the attachment. That would be handy. So anyways, we got 20 minutes into this one. Top five, it's Nom, Schiffler, Wright, Thomas and Whitworth, and then here is the Mazda battle. It's Rob Hartley leading the way, Travis Schwenke, then Mike Down, one of the big gainers in this class, and then Jim Liston, Patty Iannucci just hanging on the coattails there of the rest of them as they go through the snake section now.
Yeah, I've sensed this little 5-car battle is going to stick with it pretty much all the way to the end. It's what's going to happen on the pit stops. Of course, Dam's been caught out with the pit stops last week, didn't he? He had to have that extra one, which pushed him way back. That's allowed Hartley to sort of regain the lead in the championship, so he'll want to try and close some points in. Won't be doing anything too risky. Oh, I'm seeing people drop down the order. What is this all about? That is right now. That is Brandon Whitworth, who is recovering. So, got a feeling.
Now, is this a resurgent? Oh dear. Well, I don't think. Oh, and gone as well. Yeah, I don't think the purple and black car there didn't really know much about it there.
No. Yeah, and I don't think Clint didn't do anything wrong there either. The car was already going, wasn't it? Whitworth was already sort of losing control. So, yeah, just unfortunate to send him on up the inside of turn one, which is quite a bit side to side, a bit hard racing. Nothing more than that, to be fair. But yeah, he just got himself a bit loose and yeah, couldn't collect it before, unfortunately, getting caught up with Clint there as well. So yeah, Whitworth, he's back to where he started, which was 9th. But yeah, I'll be a bit disappointed because he'd made good ground at the start of this race.
Yeah, the No Hope Racing driver well, there might not be much hope of getting a win here today, but there could still be hope of some redemption. Clint Vigas, after all, that's managed to rebound up to 5th. There's Russell Ruddock, who was the car that got clattered into up the inside going into the first corner. It's a very tough one to gauge that first corner, Tyler, because it widens on the exit. So when you lunge up the inside, all of a sudden you could be at a disadvantage because the car on the outside gets the racing line.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with turn 1. I mean, it's a wider hairpin turn, but if you try to stay on that inside the entire time, you're going to lose so much momentum. That outside line is more of the preferred line, as you can be able to keep a little bit more momentum going into the turns to set up for turns 2, 3, and 4.
We're going into that first corner now. A few more Mazdas to deal with there, and this is allowing Jeff Jacobs and Michael Ruddock a sniff of an opportunity as they get past the unmistakable pink livery of Bobby Childs there. Flick to the camera on just above the windscreen of Jeff Jacobs. Ruddock in front, Ruddock behind. Ruddock sandwich properly going on here for Jeff Jacobs. He'll be try and get himself out of that before he ends up in a bit of a jammy situation here.
And not to jump in real quick, but looking at as I'm keeping an eye on the chat in case anything from race control, that incident between Clint and the 29 car, the 29 Mazda car, is under review.
Sense. Wonder if a potential penalty could be going heading their way, Alex. It looked like it could have been avoided.
Yeah, I think so. I wasn't in the driver's briefing, so I don't know the exact rules, but I would think the onus has to be on the driver in the faster car to make the move cleanly. Yeah, and just there, it was just all a bit rushed, I feel. So, yeah, unfortunate.
Top of the hill then, into the roller coaster section. There is another Mazda, and it looks like today that some of these drivers have found it tough getting past the Mazdas. Tyler was speaking to us just before we got going here on the broadcast about how close it is between these two classes, and that's probably what we're seeing here today, Tyler. The Mazdas aren't as much of a disadvantage, and it could be catching a few of the Mustangs out.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with some of the speed. The only big speed difference, especially with Virginia International Raceway, is the long straights. I mean, when you compare the turns, both the Mustang and the Mazda are going to be right around the same speed. The only advantage is that the Mazdas, being a little bit lighter in weight, can be able to maneuver much quicker and faster than the Mustangs, and that's where I think a lot of the Mustang drivers are getting caught off guard, thinking that they can make some decent passes, but yet at the same time, by the time they realize it won't work, it's too late.
And that was very close, what we just saw there in the Mustangs, Alex. That was a fantastic three-car scrap as we now go back to the battle that just never stops, the battle for leading the Mazdas down the backstraight.
Yeah, indeed. Just having a little look, trying to see if I can find a good shot to look back at the queue of traffic behind Hartley right now. And yeah, everyone they're just using Rob, aren't they, just to save fuel right now. They're just not making any effort whatsoever. Mike Dam the same. He hasn't really attempted to go past Travis at all. Jim Lister's there. Are all just fuel saving like crazy right now. They know the man at the front going to have to take the pits for a bit longer. Mike Dam in and Pat Iannucci in. So the two teammates decide to duck on in nice and early. Now,
we were meant to have a pit strategy Word document sent over to us today. I couldn't find it in the emails, but yeah, this is just about on schedule. Maybe a little bit early for the Mazda MX-5s. We usually see the Ford Mustangs dive into the pits first, but it looks like a change of tyres and a bit of fuel. Looks like just 2 tyres, Tyler, there is Mike Dam gets away.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised seeing them pit a little early, and looking at the race times, we still got 33 minutes to go in the race. I would have expected them to pit about the halfway point, but I think they might be taking into effect too, knowing that the Mustangs are a little quicker, that if they do get lapped by the Mustangs, especially with how quick Aeronom's been running, that they might end up being just 1 lap short, and figured figure try to come in just that 3 minutes early or even in 2.5 minutes early and just take a chance on finishing one lap behind the leaders and still be able to keep in touch with Robert Hartley and the rest of the MX5 field.
Looks like a few of the Mustangs have blinked as well and come into the pits. Kasakuzanos and Jacobs both making their stops, which has elevated Clint Vigas up another position as he continues his fight back after the collision with the Mazda MX-5 midway around the lap. The next in his sights is Leon Wright, 3 seconds away.
I've just heard in my ear as well that it has indeed been declared as a penalty, but also 42, Brandon Whitworth. He's had a penalty as well.
For the incident down at turn 1.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, the race controller getting busy by the sound of it.
Yeah, you've come on a pretty interesting evening for penalties, Tyler. Sometimes we've been given the responsibilities of dishing out the penalties, and everyone's been remarkably behaved, but not today. Did even see a full course yellow at Suzuka last week.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, I saw the incidents pop up for the turn 1 incident, and I was curious on that if that was going to be a black flag, but at least that answered my question.
Now Geordie Fike currently sat in about for 6th place in class. You can also see there the different indicators. If you're dark blue, you're in the pro fight. If you're in the light blue, you're in contention for the open category. You can see the difference in lap times as well there too, with the ST Pros in bright green, and then the ST Open in the light green. As we've got a flurry of pit stops in the Mustangs now. It's Leon Wright, Clint Vigas, it's the Russell Ruddock car coming in, and Brandon Whitworth joining them too. So a good portion of the Ford Mustangs coming in to make their stops now, as we see what's going to happen with Russell Ruddock. Is he going to take 2 tyres or not? And here is one person that's just going to be thinking about what tyres he's going to be taking, because he hasn't pitted yet. Aero Nom in control of things. He'll be probably working out the strategies he's going along now, because he doesn't have to worry about anyone behind him. He's got an 11.1 second lead to Tyler Schiffler in 2nd place.
Yeah, and an update on Brandon Whitworth. Brandon Whitworth actually just drove, only did the drive-through penalty. He did not stop for tires or anything, as well as Clint Vigas did.
No, it's just serving the pen. Then I'm sure they'll probably be in next lap or so. Well, we'll have to see that in a moment, because I think it's about time we said hello to the sponsors of this one, Adam. And big welcome to Frank at Ricmotech as well. He's not here. For one day we'll get him in here. Let's just go check them out, see what they've got on offer. Don't forget to go check their website out and things like that. But we'll be right back just after this quick advert break.
Welcome back to the penultimate race meeting of the season in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series here at Virginia International Raceway. Looking from the helicopter at the battle in the Mazdas, you can see that it has been decimated a bit just because these cars haven't pitted in right on cue. All three of them come straight into the pits. Rob Hartley, Travis Schwenke and Jim List all coming in. While we were away on a break, Aero Nom, Tyler Shiflett all came in, along with Clint Vigus too. It's cycled out that Aero Nom maintains his lead. He's got an 11-second advantage over Tyler Shiflett. Clint Vigus came out in 8th position. He's cycled all the way back out there. As Alex Simpson will bring you back in. It's looking here at Mike Dam. He was one of the cars that pitted slightly earlier. He was one of the first to come in. It's going to be interesting to see now where he rejoins in relation to the likes of List and Hartley, who are just about finishing their pit stops now.
Yeah, just sort of trying to see it. Are they going? They are going. So this is going to be very close. But I think Hartley is going to be able to retain his position. Damn, he's going to basically be exactly where he was before as well. So yeah, no problems there whatsoever. I think the driver that may have lost out is Pasquale Iannucci. He looks like he's about 2.5 seconds back. So he's probably lost that draft now, which is not what he wanted.
Yeah, we saw earlier, Tyler, that he was just about hanging on to the rear of them. That slipstream was just about keeping him in with a shout, but now that he's lost that, it's going to be a tall order. He's going to have to start putting in the laps now if he wants to close right back up to them again.
Absolutely, especially with not having that draft. It's going to be the only way he'll be able to make anything up is if he can run clean through the tighter portions of the track, and then just hope that he, with the amount of time that he gains in the shorter sections, that he can be able to make up for the long run.
We've only got 2 cars that are official, well, in terms of racing terms, that are a lap behind, and that is Jacob Beasley and Patrick Prevenis, who was in the thick of the action earlier. I think Paul Patrick was the one that Clint Vigus collided with, and now we go back to the lead battle again. 2 cars out of the race, Kevin Ford and Dexter Castro, and the likes of Dries Nice and Andrew Force that didn't take the start. Interesting why they were here. I don't know if they're part of the officiating team or not. We'll wait and see. Final race meeting of the season will be at Road Atlanta next week. You'll be able to see that on Apex Racing TV. 90-minute endurance race to end the season. Should be a good one as we look at Hartley and Schwenke going over the horizon into the roller coaster section as the final few ebbs of sunlight start to fade away here around Virginia International Raceway. Well, we have seen a few headlights in the Ford Mustangs, but it looks like these guys have been eating their carrots because they haven't had to put the headlights on at all yet with 25 minutes to go.
No, I haven't seen single MX-5 with the lights on, so yeah. Obviously set to come on just a little bit later. But yeah, I think they'll be alright. I don't think they're going to struggle with light. I think, yeah, the sun probably might set completely behind the trees, but we'll still have enough light. Or we hope so anyway, because Tyler, you were mentioning earlier on the Brands Hatch one got dark. Very dark that we were doing. That was the Monday night MX-5 series, of course, and yeah, not be easy for drivers.
Yeah, that was, especially with how the start was too. I mean, it was very difficult, even just for just being a commentator and not even being in the car. That was just very, very difficult. But I mean, I think we should be able to get finished in the time and before it really starts getting really dark. But it's still going to be some great battling as the night goes on.
Yeah, for a series like the World Endurance Championship in real life, they do have great indicators to work out which car is which. Here, you're kind of trying to peek through the gloom and the darkness to try and work out what colour scheme is whose and which driver is who. But we don't have that problem just yet, as you can see the sun, the final few bits of sunlight just creeping up behind the trees here in Virginia International Raceway. And Rob Hartley, he's hoping that the sun won't come down on his lead, his time in the lead, because he is currently the effective race leader as Chris Torman and Geordie Fike continue to circulate without making a stop. When it comes to strategies such as this, there goes Aero Nom, class leader in the Mazdas, getting passed by the class leader in the Mustangs. When it comes to strategy like this, Tyler, would you be one of the drivers that would get in nice and early, get the pit stop out of the way, or try and run long and maybe get a slightly quicker pit stop at the end, as you don't need to take as much fuel?
Honestly, for me, I probably would end up coming into this kind of race. I'd be having two different strategies. First strategy would be if I know that I'm going to be burning up the tires too much, I'd pit at the halfway point, like right at the 30-minute mark, pit, change tires and everything, and then get on my way. The other strategy is if I'm able to keep the times at a consistent pace, even with the tire drop off, I would pit and pit only for fuel, and then try to get back out on track and not have to worry about changing tires. I mean, unless you can change like the right side tires in quickly enough to where you're feeling by the time you're done getting the fuel that the tires would be done changing on one side, so you at least still have somewhat of fresh tires on one side of the car.
All of a sudden, it has got a little bit dark, hasn't it? You can see the headlights now starting to take more of an effect here. Here they go for the biggest part of the circuit onto the VW bridge. You can see the north circuit to your right there. That's where the cones are. Remember, one of the first BSRTC races we ever covered on this channel was on that layout of Virginia. We're not using the Grand West layout either, Alex, which is another totally different combination in itself.
Yeah, an absolute massive version, isn't it? The Grand West, is that right?
Yeah,
the one that hairpins at the end of the back straight and then comes.
Yes,
yeah, huge circuit.
Takes me back to the Skip Barber days. I think we used that layout there. I haven't been in that car for a while, that's for sure. And of course, Tyler, a few new cars for the people on the iRacing service to get accustomed to as well, and a few new tracks too. It's been a big month at the service.
Yes, absolutely. As iRacing has just brought out the new Formula 3 and the Formula Renault 3.5, which I have done some racing on with those cars, and I know Alex has as well. I think you can agree with me, Alex, that those cars are really fun to drive, and I can't wait to work on setups with them, because I would love to find something to race with them in and some people, because those things are fun to drive.
Yeah, exactly. Two great cars. I haven't had much time to have a bit of a practice with them, really, to be honest. So, but yeah, I'm sure once I do, I'm gonna enjoy them even more.
Absolutely. And then the other new things is they have brought in two new tracks. Both of them are actually free as well. The Charlotte Roval, the actually brand new variation that Charlotte brought out that the NASCAR series used earlier this season in the playoff, in their final round of the playoffs to finish out one of the I want to say it was the chase for 8th round. I want to say that track is now on iRacing, as well as one of my favorites, to Scuba. And they brought both the 2000 circuit, which is the one that, if a lot of you people are familiar with Gran Turismo, you could only find that track on that game at all, and I have never seen it in any other track, so that was a great plus, as well as their counterpart to the 1000 circuit, which is a little bit smaller, but it's great for like the MX-5s, which I'm excited for that track in general.
So your 1000 is the 1001 where you turn right straight after the tire bridge. Is that the layout? I think it is.
Yeah, I want to say yes. Because the 1001 is a much shorter circuit, while the 2001 is the much larger.
Yeah, not too sure. To be fair, I haven't driven the track since the Gran Turismo on the Xbox.
Yeah, I want to. Sorry for jumping in. I want to say the 2000 version is the one that is the Gran Turismo version. The 1000 is the shorter version.
Yeah. A bit of a moment there for, I think it was Jeff Lavelle in the ASRC car. You will have noticed that the race order has now cycled its way through in the Mazda MX-5s. Chris Torman had a decent stint at the front, but he took his time to get into the pits, and it means that everybody now has made a pit stop in the field as we look at the battle for 6th place between Russell Ruddock and Clint Vigus. Vigus has got past one of the Ruddocks already on his quest to regain a spot in the top 5 after the mishap earlier. Let's not dampen it down that Ruddock's also been into the pits twice, at least that's what it says on my screen. Now he's got Vigus for company. Last time around, Vigus did a 2:01.1 1.3 seconds. That's 1.3 seconds quicker than Russell Rurick's personal best. In terms of last lap times, it was 2:03.2 for Vargas, 2:04.1 for Russell Rurick. So he is coming, Alex.
Yeah. Oh, having a look right now as well, and just poking his nose up. MX-5 in the just getting out of the way. I think with this back straight being so long, it's almost worthwhile just getting yourself lined up. Make sure you get as close as possible coming out of the oak tree, and that's kind of where you want to go for your moves. But seems like Clint's not having any of that. Side by side already. He's got the run. Gonna go through.
Oof. Yeah.
I think Russell Rurick there may have decided that discretion was the better part of valor there, and got out of that.
I think you're right there. Absolutely bang on. So could have ended nasty going through there. But yeah, Clint, in fairness, he had the run. He was entitled to bring his car alongside and pull that move.
I'm sure in one of the other series that we cover on Apex Racing TV, they would have both gone side by side through there on a Thursday night.
Oh, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Top 10 then, with just over a quarter of the race still to go here at Virginia International Raceway. It's Aaron On that leads. The gap's now 13 seconds between him and Tyler Shiflett. Leon Wright currently is the last person on the podium. He sat in third. Then it's Jeff Jacobs in fourth. Team Bushfink, Aaron On's teammate Sam Kasakuzino sits in fifth. Well, this is probably what the closest class that we've got on the circuit in the Mustangs, between Clint Vargas and Russell Rurick. It looks like it might be close for second and third between Shiflett and Wright. I'm seeing the gap there being listed as 3/4 of a second. So we've got two good scraps going on in this class with a few, we're just over 15 minutes to go here. See the brake discs glowing on the Mustangs as Clint Vargas gets the car slowed down. Racing cars like this at this circuit, Tyler, do the brakes start to get a bit worn out towards the end?
Especially for this circuit, I want to say yes. Especially in the tighter sections, you got to be on the brakes a lot more heavier. Unlike the more easier areas like the Snake. Oh boy, I'm just watching from Leon Wright as he had to check up big time to avoid the 98. But yeah, I want to say the brakes are being used a lot more heavier, especially in the high speed areas that you have to decelerate very quickly, especially like at Oak Tree corner and that. But I want to say that the brakes will be a key factor near the end of this race.
And when people, Alex, have really specialist pedals like you yourself do, if the brakes start to go a little bit, do you get to sense that through the pedals on a sim like iRacing?
No.
No. There you go. Maybe
sorry. I'd love to big it up and things like that.
Yeah.
But I hope one day that we do start to get that sort of brake fade, like when you overheat them and things like that. That they don't become as efficient and things like that. So you kind of have to, modulate your braking so you're not just stamping on them all the time. But yeah, we're not there yet. I really hope, I really hope they do introduce that. But that'll be difficult for the people that have like your pedometer style pedals that just pretty much full brake very very quickly against those that have like a load cell style braking system. So yeah, I think I understand why iRacing do it as they do right now. But I definitely want to see it.
Of course, Formula E returns this weekend. I was just watching their preview show before we came on air here. They've got a really interesting way of racing, online racing, where you get to race against the drivers in real life thanks to the power of GPS or CGI or something like that, where they can work out their position on the circuit and you can race against them. It all seems very interesting, but their season begins on early Saturday morning if you're in Europe. That's the racing at Riyadh in Saudi Arabia, so that might be worth getting up for. Especially if in America, that's probably going to be pretty early in the morning. 14 minutes to go, and it looks like this lead battle in the Mazdas, Tyler, has been whistled down to just 2. It's Rob Hartley versus Travis Schwenke, and they're both really attacking this circuit as we get into the closing stages of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. As it looks like, watching this race, it's definitely has been close. Mike Dam in the 93 and Jim List in the 65. They've been trying to keep up, but every time they have to slow up a little for a lap traffic for the Fords, it seems like they're just slowly losing that gap. But I mean, they're still holding strong in third and fourth. But I think it's going to come down to Robert Hartley and Travis Schwenke
as they get lapped by Aeronom again. Well, that might be the first time they've got lapped, actually, going into...
Nice. Contact.
Yeah, very close.
Looks like there's some nice little damage now on Robert Hartley. Travis had to check up big time to Justin. Yeah. Boy, oh boy.
That was very close there. Going for the final two.
It's what Mike needs, isn't it? You know, bit of something a bit different. I mean, he's 1.6 seconds back now. Probably just about got the tail end of the draft again. So he's not out of this yet. They start to battle. He may well have a chance just to hunt them back down. But yeah, we'll have to check that out in the final 10 minutes because it's time for our final ad break of the evening. And yeah, we'll be back with you in about a minute's time.
Are you a fan of the Ricmotech Sports Car Series? Now is your chance to show off your favorite sim racing series by visiting our online store. With clothing and apparel for women and men in all sizes, merchandise and gift items like coffee mugs, laptop skins, mouse pads, and many more items to display your passion for sports car sim racing. Visit us today at ExtremeMotorsports99.com and click on the online store button. Thank you for watching and supporting the Ricmotech Sports Car Series.
Into the final 10 minutes of the penultimate race meeting of the season here in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. The sun is slowly setting on the season, and it's slowly setting here at Virginia International Raceway. Adam Baff here with Alex Simpson and Tyler Vickery. One thing I have noticed, Alex, is that the track temperature hasn't gone down too much. I think it's still at about 18 degrees Celsius, and even though we've got the dynamic Daytoniters getting out of the way, there is one of the Mustangs, that's Dexter Castro. It looks like the track temperature for now at least won't be getting below 18.
No, well, it's as low as it can get, isn't it? 18. I don't think iRacing physically simulates anything lower than that. So yeah, it's reached its max now that the sun's completely down. And just hearing in my ear roll as well, car number 7, which I believe is Dries Nice, has indeed got that penalty that Tyler mentioned to us that was being investigated.
Actually, it was Clint Vigas. You said the number 7 car, right?
Oh, did you say 77? My apologies.
Yeah, you said. I thought you said 7. My apologies.
I thought you said 7 as well.
Yeah, no, it was the 71 Clint Vigas for a second time now being black flagged.
Oh,
well, it's not your day. Yeah, I was going to say if Dries Nice had done something to get a penalty, then
yeah,
I don't know what else, because he hasn't actually been in the race. Here is one battle that is very much still on, and it is between Travis Schwenke and Rob Hartley. Schwenke now in front of Rob Hartley as we go into the closing stages here. It's just over a 2-minute lap here in the Mazda MX-5, so we've got about 4 more laps, I reckon. And yeah, Schwenke's hit the front. I don't know whether we missed that or while we were talking there or not, Alex, but good to see a replay of what happened there to see how Rob Hartley has finally relinquished the lead as Clint Vigus comes in to serve another penalty.
Yeah, poor Clint.
It's definitely not having the best day there when you get black flag twice.
Here we go then, here's a replay of that overtake. So down the back straight, got the run. And yeah, using all the draft and straight through. Rob not really defending it, even got out of the gas, I feel, for a little bit there. So
plenty of time to go. Plus now he gets to do a bit of slipstreaming too on those guys. On board with Mike Dam, who is really pushing hard. You can see how much curb he took there. I think I've been black and white flagged on a go-karting day before, quite a few times actually. Never been given the black flag. I'm sure I'll leave that to when we do the 24 hours at Milton Keynes in May. I'm sure many punches will be getting thrown in my direction if that actually does happen. And I'm sure the same could be happening here if this Mustang of Russell Ruddock ends up gate crashing this Parsi Tyler of Travis Schwenke, Rob Hartley and Mike Dam.
Yeah, absolutely. As Mike's within a second now and having to worry about the Mustangs at the same time. If the Mustangs start making mistakes, that's going to hurt Mike in trying to be able to keep up with this pack, especially after fighting all the way back from earlier incidences where he had to let some of the Mustangs go.
See the Mustang pace kicking in there, Alex.
Yeah, he just can't catch a break though, can he? He caught up, and then unfortunately the Mustang just get in between them again. So, but yeah, actually it worked quite nicely there because that second Mustang just sort of slowed these guys up just ever so slightly. So yeah, 6 minutes to go. He's right there again. So podium, podium shootout really.
You could hear when we were on board with Dam there just how early he downshifts. No wonder we see a few engine blowouts in some of the classes here as Hartley pairs an assault for the lead. We've got the best view in the house pretty much to see if he does. It's up the inside going into the first corner, but decides to go against it for now. The much more better opportunity to get the overtake done coming further around the lap. I think we all know where it could be, and that's the roller coaster section at the end of the very long back straight here as Schwenke leads with just under 5 minutes to go now. And of course these guys will be dictated on where Aeronom is on the circuit, because once he takes a checkered flag it will be the final lap for these guys, and I think Aeronom lapped these guys just a few laps ago, so he's a bit further around the lap and shouldn't end up troubling these three by the time we get to the end of the race.
I just wanted to say, I don't know if you caught there as well, but Mike clearly coasting into turn one. So he's either extremely tight on fuel, or he's under. One way or the other. But
yeah. Well, Tyler, he came in very early, and it was something that we picked up on, and now maybe he's having to pay the price, and he's having to make sure that he's very economical with the fuel before we get to the end of this one.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it too. Well, as he's now closed back up again to where he can get some drafting help, I wouldn't be surprised if he was probably, when he pitted halfway, he was probably thinking he'd be able to keep saving enough fuel, just because of running with the pack that he was when it was a 5-car pack fighting first through fifth throughout the start of the race. And I think he's starting to realize, especially as the race goes by, that was definitely not going to be the best choice now, as he had to fight his way to catch back up to these top two drivers.
Pretty close. Here is our leader then. Gap has been cut down to 5 seconds recently. Don't know whether that's due to a mistake or just Aeronom taking it all in his stride, and he has been doing that all season. I'll quickly reel off some of his stats for you as I get them up here. Aeronom, 9 starts, 9 wins, 54-point lead. He's only picked up 4 incidents all season. Hey, that's something you could have dreamt of, Alex, in the VSRTC.
Yeah, I'll take that, I tell you.
I think I can agree. I think I'm with you there, Alex, on that. Especially just with the MX5 series alone for me.
Only 4 incidents, and these are long races as well. Got to be dealing with the traffic too, and it's we don't go to many tracks where there's tarmac runoff area on the exit either. So yeah, to pick up 4 incidents over the course of the season has really shown his dominance and how composed he is under pressure. And seeing that again here today, and everything being good, he's going to be wrapping up another Ricmotech Sports Car Series title. This though is getting very, very close indeed, going up to the oak tree. When we get to the line, we could have we could have at least 1 lap to go. Through the right-hander, good exit there from Schwenke. As here is Mike Dam. He's now really lost a lot of distance to them. He's all of a sudden 8 seconds behind.
Definitely fuel.
Yeah, definitely fuel.
I was gonna say, because I'm looking back at replay and I saw no issues of no lap traffic incidents, nothing.
Well, and there goes Jim List. He's going to get past Mike Dam and move into the final podium position. So Mike Dam's early pit stop has potentially come back to haunt him here, and I wonder just how further he could drop back. The next car behind is Pat Iannucci, and he's 12 seconds away. So I bet you Mike Dam is really hoping that this is Aero Nom's final lap of the race as he goes through the snake section now.
Yeah,
I think it will be.
Absolutely. Well, also too, didn't Pascal Iannucci also pit at the same time as well?
It's really coasting. I think it might be better just to come into the pits. He's going to go by. That's interesting. Meanwhile, it's 0.2 of a second for the lead between Travis Schwenke and Rob Hartley. Make that 0.1 of a second. Here it is. It's on now, and this could be the final lap of the race because Aero Nom's already gone by these two. So if he takes a checker flag on this lap, he's going to be really in trouble. Mike Dam, as you can see on the timing screen, has just been passed by Iannucci, so he's down to 5th place in the current standings now. And because Rob Hartley is doing so well, this is really going to hurt Mike Dam in the championship when we go to Road Atlanta next week in the title decider with just 15 seconds to go before we reach the hour mark.
Yeah, a couple of fuel strategies just not worked out for Mike and really hurt him at the end of this season. But he's the main man though. It's close, but he's definitely not making it through another lap.
No, he's not. Been a 10 out of 10 performance from Aero Nom today. And he's going to make it 10 out of 10 for wins this season in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Aero Nom wins here at Virginia International Raceway. Tyler Schiffler seconds with Leon Wright pushing him home all the way in 3rd. Now what's going on in our Mazda fights? Jeff Jacobs is going to come home in 4th. Here it is. Rob Hartley going to the outside then, going into the top of the hill into the roller coaster section. Charles Schwenke has a little bit of a wobble under braking. Hartley's there. Schwenke able to put the car just in the right place, and he's going to maintain the lead. And if barring the Asbury Motorsports car going off in the final corner, which he very nearly does, as he does a little bit of a drift there, he's going to come home and take the victory. Rob Hartley is going to be very close, and how significant that overtake was a few laps ago by Travis Schwenke. He's been able to keep Rob Hartley at bay. Travis Schwenke wins a fantastic final lap, Tyler, there by just under 0.2 of a second.
Yeah, absolutely. I almost want to say that Travis just timed it just enough. I heard some contact in the background from what it sounded like. Robert trying to give Travis a little nudge there, trying to see if he can do a bumper run, but it definitely did not work out.
Great race as always in the Sports Car Series, especially at Virginia as well. There goes Pat Iannucci, one of the main drivers to benefit from Mike Dam's demise. Dam is still circulating on the circuit, but as Eric Violet goes through, Geordie Fike as well, there is Mike Dam. He will get to the end, but he will be finishing in 7th rather than 3rd, and it could get worse. Chris Torman is right behind him. Is there enough juice in that Mazda? No, there isn't. Chris Torman's going to demote Mike Dam another place. It's going to be 7th for Torman. Mike Dam going to be finishing in 8th in class as he comes across the line.
1 litre of fuel, too little, you know? It's probably all it was. That's all he needed, and that would have been... He'd have been at the front fighting for that lead. crazy small margins, but it matters.
Absolutely.
Another great race in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Plenty of strategy to talk about. Now it's getting properly dark, just as the checkered flag comes out. Bring the finishing order then up on the screen. I would, but my timing screen's gone doolally. I don't know if it's and the same with you, Alex, but we'll get it up. There it is. And it's a race victory for Aeronom. 10 out of 10 for the season now. Tyler Shiflett was 6 seconds away in the end. Leon Wright completing the podium. Jeff Jacobs 4th. Sam Katakouzinos getting to the end. The Aussie there in 5th. Then it's a 2 Ruddock. It's Russ ahead of Michael. And then just 6 tenths behind Michael Ruddock, it's Branson Whitworth. Jennifer McDonald's in 9th. Freeman Bader Jr. in 10th. Stephen Thomas in 11th. Clint Vigas, I think after he picked up that second penalty, either crashed or he just didn't fancy going back out after that. He finished 4 laps down in the Mayer Motorsports 2 car. And the 2 Mustangs had issues during the race. Kevin Ford blew the engine going into the first corner, while Dexter Castro picked up too much damage from the mess that went on at the Oak Tree Bend, while Andrew Fawcett didn't take the start. Meanwhile, over in the Mazdas, just under 2 tenths of a second in it between Travis Schwenke and Rob Hartley. Jim List finishing in 3rd in the end, 10 seconds behind them. Then it's Patty Iannucci in 4th, 5th for Eric Violet, and then it's Jody Fike in 6th, then Chris Torman, Mike Dam finishing in 8th in the end, and he wasn't too far ahead of Ava Payton either. 2 Canadians finishing 8th and 9th. John Allen in 10th, Jeff Lavelle in 11th, then Derek Holland, Edgar Sanchinelli, the last car on the lead lap in that class, in 13th, and then cars 1 lap down or more. Bobby Childs in the D2D Motorsports blue car, even though it's in pink. Then the No Clue Motorsports car driven by Michael Key, then Mike Taylor, Jacob Beasley, Patrick Previnus as well in the Previ Racing car, and I believe that is it in terms of that class. So I apologize, there's more, but it's just Dries Nice, and I don't think he took the start at all. And to our organisers and our stewards, including Ryan Cobb, who had a busier job than he usually does here today. Right then, we do have an interview. We do have Aeronom waiting to talk to us. 10 out of 10 then for the season, Aero. Another lights the flag victory from you. First of all, it's the first time we've seen the day to night transition here on the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. What was that like for you to race today?
Oh yeah, it was pretty easy. After Vigas got some incident behind me, so yeah, after that it was just I was just pushing to make 30 laps, but just halfway to the race, Sam told me that he didn't put enough fuel in, so I had to slow down in the last laps.
Yeah, we saw Clint, who was chasing you all the way in the early stage of the race, collide with one of the Mazdas. Is this racetrack a bit more tough in terms of trying to get past the Mazda? Because looking at the lap times, there isn't really too much between you.
Yeah, definitely. That place, the weather would have been to stay behind, but I had speed and I was able to overtake the Mazda before that corner, and yeah, it was just too dangerous for him to take. But over that, yeah, there was straight lines so long here, so it was good to pass Mazdas, but they were much faster in some places. So yeah.
Final race meeting then next week at Road Atlanta. You've won every race you've done, and I'm guessing the aim is to complete it next week at Road Atlanta and get another title.
Yeah, it will be a longer race, a more tactical race, so let's see how it goes.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on Road Atlanta? It's a track that we always seem to go to as the last race meeting of the season. Is it a track that suits the Mustang pretty well?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's one of the best tracks for the Mustang, so it will be fun.
Well, just before we let you go then, do you want to send a quick shout out to anybody?
Yeah, thanks Sam for waking up again today and racing here, and you guys and league sponsors and all the admins doing the hard work.
No problem at all. Another great job by you today, and yeah, well done to Sam as well, your teammate. He was able to get to the end there and get some points for you and the team too. And yeah, hopefully we'll be speaking to you again next week at Road Atlanta.
Yeah, talk to you later.
Aeronom race winner joining us there for a quick word. Alex, we have the Mazda winner waiting to talk to us now, and Travis Schwenke.
Yeah, we do indeed. Welcome, Travis. I'm trying to find you on the list so I can bring your name up, but you seem to have disappeared off the time-in screen. What is going on?
I don't know. You better give me credit for that.
Yeah.
Oh,
there we go.
Yeah, there you go. I can see him just there.
Well, congratulations, first off. Great win. Went to the front with a few laps to go, and yeah, I think Rob had the chance to have a run earlier on where I think he probably would have cleared you, but on that last lap, you got a really good exit from the oak tree, and it made it quite tasty going into the roller coaster section. You're just able to, yeah, side by side, just able to hold it off, and yeah, from then down that final sector, it was pretty smooth sailing, and yeah, a great race. I mean, you lost Mike run out of fuel, but yeah, you guys were bang on the money.
Yeah, it was weird. I think probably what happened to Mike was I think my pre-race fuel number is a lot lower, so I don't know if the weather's changing the fuel or what, but it was a lot more. I had to fill a lot more than I thought pre-race. So put that in, just went ahead and took 4 tires since before I couldn't take them. Ended up being too much, but I was just trying to play it safe at that point.
That's a good point, actually, because of course the track conditions change, don't they now? And we start the race off with a certain ambient temperature, and we end the race at what will probably be a lower one because the sun set during the course of this race, and yeah, track temperature dropped as low as 18 degrees, so there was an awful lot of grip out there. You guys were able to push, I guess, really quite hard. There'd have been a lot of traction out there today, and of course the cooler temperature as well. The engines burn just a little bit better, and we have better straight line speed. So yeah, fuel numbers changed dramatically, and I think, yeah, that's probably caught a few people out today.
Yeah, it was really catching me out because JRT was telling me one thing lower, and I'm like, there's no way it could be that low. So just doing some quick math, and thankfully this track is like right at the liter a lap, so it was pretty easy to kind of figure out what I needed.
Well, that's gonna spice things up, I think, with everybody using their different fuel laps and things like that, because yeah, they're not used to how it calculates out. Bring back the days of iSpeed where it just calculates after the last 5 laps. I think that's going to be the interesting stuff. So yeah,
exactly.
Very, yeah, very interesting. You've got to think on your feet, add a couple of laps in, I think, now to be safe. But yeah, I mean, this is a tricky circuit. Obviously, very little runoff area here. You kind of just got to, you know, you got to put everything on the table, but just use those curbs and things like that. I mean, how is the Mazda on these curbs? Because some cars, they're fine. Other cars absolutely hate them.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I really like using the curbs through the early part, after NASCAR, the 4, 5, 6, 6A, all the way through that section. But that very first one, you have to hit it, but if you're on the pedal, it'll just spin out on you. So you have to be about halfway or so. You can't really go full throttle, but you need to be a little bit on it to balance it. But after that, it's you can pretty much take every one of those curves all the way up through the S's, and then you get to South Bend there, and that's just a great corner in this car. It's just on the edge, sliding every time.
And how was the traffic today as well? Because you know, there's a big area of this circuit where, you know, it's easy to get by, but then also in the complete opposite vein, loads of it is single file, and the traffic can be a bit problematic.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think we got lucky. The Mustangs caught us pretty much every time at the right spot, so we're a little better than them through that 4, 5, 6A section, and they can get us down that first part of the straight then before 7, so they have a chance to get us there if they're right on you. Then pretty much they can wait to the backstretch, and so it seemed to work out, and we only had maybe 1 or 2 that got us a little late down that backstretch, but it still didn't hold us up much at all.
Stuff. Any final thoughts before we let you go and wrap up the stream?
No, just glad to finally get another win. So I've made my share of little mistakes that have kind of cost me the past few races, but still been there. Just made the mistake in pit or something else, an outlap, and So good to be back up here.
Some stuff. Thanks, Travis. Enjoy your victory, mate, and we'll catch you next week.
Thanks.
Adam.
Yeah, there we go. Good to hear from both winners, and yeah, a great evening at at Virginia International Raceway. Just one race meeting to go then. After this, quick thought from you, Tyler. First Ricmotech Sports Car Series race meeting. What do you make of it?
Great racing altogether, especially the starts of both. I mean, especially I gotta give a shout out to those guys in the MX-5s, because there's a few times I thought I was expecting at least one or two cars to make mistakes and knock each other out right at the start of the race, but they very clean start, and I was impressed by it. I mean, great job by all the drivers mainly. Other than there was a few scary close calls to say the least, but overall I was impressed with just watching them race. That was some really good hard racing in my opinion.
There we go. Good to hear from Tyler. And my thanks to Alex as well for doing the cameras as always, replays, and making sure that we saw all the important action on the circuits. Of course, it may be the festive season. In fact, it's just over 2 weeks till Christmas. We have got plenty of festive action to keep you entertained over the Christmas period, starting with tomorrow. We've got the next instalment of the iRacing Le Mans series, I believe, Alex. Sorry, it's a Tuesday tomorrow, isn't it? So
yeah, you're a day ahead of yourself.
Yeah, we've got BSR MX-5 today on Tuesday, technically Tuesday. Then we've got iRacing Le Mans series Wednesday, the start of the BSR Winter Series on Thursday night, and then some new series coming your way over the weekend as well. So make sure to subscribe and keep your post notifications on, and you'll be able to get notified when we are live. You won't have to keep listening out for these shout outs at the end from me. So that's pretty much it. My thanks to Tyler, my thanks to Alex, and thank you very much everybody for watching. And make sure to join us next week at Road Atlanta, where we will be crowning a champion in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Good night.
The following is a presentation of the iRacing Esports Network.